the world's becoming increasingly difficult to believe in God. You know, there's a lot of vitriol towards Christians in general.
How do we then raise a generation of saints who are both spiritually strong and also historically informed?
That just comes to do with study. I think when it's home-centered, you are very aware of what is required for your children to be faithful Latter-day Saints. Because, you know, what maybe is relevant to us here is not relevant to the church in Africa, is not relevant to the church in India, is not relevant to the church in Europe. And so a global church, I think, has to become more nuanced. And I think that the gospel is leaning that way. I think that's a divine inspiration. I use this term, believer of the faith, defender of the faith. I think we start as a believer of the faith. I think when you graduate from a believer, you become a defender. And a defender is somebody that wants to know for themselves that what they believe is true. That takes a different level of work. You know, in the scriptures it says, it is given to some to believe on the words of others. It is given to others to know. And I think we have to teach our children to know. I think that the church's message has really started to become that you have to know for yourself. You can't rely on the knowledge of others. You know, you can't have a shallow testimony.